So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can read a take-home book with your child at home. There is another video that shows the book introduction for this book, so if you want to check that out first, that would be really helpful for you. All right, Scarlett, off we go.
Flowers for Grandma.
Flowers for Grandma.
Ella came home and looked for Grandma. Mum said, "Ella, where is Grandma?" "Grandma is in hospital," said Mum. "Oh no," cried Ella. "We can go and see her in the hospital," said Mum.
Great reading.
"I will get some flowers for Grandma," said Ella. "She likes the red flowers in my garden." Ella ran into the garden to get the flowers. Mum came to help. Ella and Mum went to the hospital to see Grandma. "The flowers are for my Grandma," said Ella. "Hello, Grandma," said Ella. "Here are some flowers for you." "Oh, thank you, Ella," said Grandma. "I love your red flowers." "I am coming home on Friday," said Grandma, "and your flowers can come home with me." "I love you, Grandma," said Ella.
Great reading, Scarlett. Really lovely work there with the whole book all the way through, beautifully phrased. So, Scarlett, what happened in that story?
Ella came home and she was looking for Grandma, but then Mum said Grandma was in hospital, so Mum said we can go and see her. So Ella thought we could get some flowers for Grandma, and then they went into the hospital, and then Ella said, "I love you, Grandma."
Why do you think Ella brought the flowers home?
For a gift for Grandma.
Yes, for a gift for Grandma. Because how do you think Grandma was feeling in
Sad.
hospital? Do you remember when your uncle was in hospital? Was he a bit sad being there? Was he a bit different? What was he feeling? Was he excited to see you? Yeah. Do you think Gran was excited to see Ella?
Yes,
How do you know that?
because how Grandpa looked when they saw Ella.
Yeah, on this page, that's right. So what was the problem in this story?
That Ella didn't know the flower that Grandma was home, and then she got confused.
She didn't know that Grandma was in hospital, did she? And so how did they solve that problem?
Ella's thinking, where is Grandma?
Yeah, because
she
usually...
doesn't know where she is, because she's usually with them.
Good girl, that's right, absolutely. If you came home and Grandma wasn't there and you were used to seeing her there, you'd be a bit worried, wouldn't you? Who ended up going to see Grandma?
Ella and Mum,
Yes, and what did they take?
they took flowers.
Do you think that's why it's called Flowers for Grandma? Great job, well done. I love the way that you read that. It's beautifully phrased and you really understood what that story was about. Nice work, Scarlett. So after Ella had finished reading that story, I pretty much left it up to her to read and work out the words. We'd already got her to have a look at some of the trickier words like hospital and to find the word grandma, so she was comfortable with that. And then at the end of the story, I asked her about the whole idea of the story. So it's good to get the gist of the story from the child so that they know, so that they really key into the meaning of the story. Once they've got the meaning of the story, and you can hear by your questioning that they understand what the story is about, then you can have a look through the book and find perhaps the problem in the story. Most stories have a problem that needs to be solved and a solution for this story. So it's really a good idea to ask open questions where you can get a lot of information from the child. So you might just say at the end of the book, tell me about the story. And then you notice that Scarlett was able to tell the whole story. She had a really good idea of what the story was about and was able to point to to the problem in the story, the solution in the story. We can ask explicit questions, like, which I did, like, who went to the hospital, and they're closed questions, so you don't get as much talk, as much conversation from the child if you ask a closed question. But an open question, tell me about, is a great prompt for finding out what the child actually got from the book in the first reading. Some kids do read the words and they're so busy decoding and working out what the words are that they don't really listen for the meaning. If that's the case, there's a couple of things you can do. You can reread the whole story to them, say, oh, that was great, let me read the story to you, and then you might get the meaning, because then the load isn't so hard on high on the child, and then you're able to get the meaning, and you might go back and they might read that again to you. Another thing to do is to go back through the book and use the pictures as prompts to find out what happened. You can just work from the start of the book, say, okay, so let's have a look and find out what happened. If you introduce the book really well and really thoroughly, that's really not going to be necessary. So the book introduction is key to a first read in a book, and you should always do that with your child. Look right through the book. On a first read, not all children will know every word, and if a child doesn't know a word, the best thing to do is just to give them the word. You don't need to teach them how to read, because that's really done at school, but you can help them and support them by making the read easy by just giving them the word. Sometimes it's nice to go back and read the sentence again once you've given them the word so they can get the meaning, because reading is all about meaning. The most important thing when you read a book is to be engaged in the book yourself, because the child takes from you the excitement and the interest that you bring to the book. So if you're excited at the end of a read and say, wow, that was amazing, tell me what happened in that book, the child is really going to feel that the book is valued and that it's been fun to read. They'll want to read again with you. So engage in the book, be really interested, and make it easy for the child to do a great read the first time they read the story to you.